The United Kingdom, once a dominant global powerhouse, finds itself navigating turbulent waters a year after our last analysis. The picture painted by the current socio-economic conditions is one fraught with challenges and demands careful scrutiny. The country struggles with record debts, a chaotic Brexit aftermath, power purchase crisis, and a shifting political landscape that has left many questions unanswered. The power purchase crisis has eroded the financial stability of many households. With soaring prices and stagnant wages, families find themselves cutting corners to make ends meet, a far cry from the buoyant economies of the past. Brexit, a decision that promised newfound independence, has not yet yielded the expected fruits. Supply chain disruptions, trade hurdles, and a loss of open market freedom have painted an uncertain future for the British economy. Record levels of debt also cast a shadow over the economic landscape. The burden of loans and accrued interests weighs heavily on both the private and public sectors. Unlike the booming economies of the past, the current growth rate is among the lowest in Europe, raising concerns about the UK's ability to sustain itself in an increasingly competitive world market. Amidst these challenges, Keir Starmer's political decisions have come under the microscope. As the leader of the opposition, his actions and proposals are seen as a potential roadmap to guide the nation out of its doldrums. However, critics and supporters alike argue over the efficacy of his plans. Some view them as bold and necessary, while others worry about their implementation and impact. Looking forward, the UK is at a crossroads. Will it manage to find a path back to stability and growth, reclaiming its former glory, or sink further into economic decline? The questions are as daunting as the issues themselves, and the answers remain to be seen. A year after our last analysis, where does the United Kingdom stand? This examination delves into the troubling situation of a once dominant nation, now grappling with multiple challenges. From a cost of living crisis to chaotic Brexit implications, coupled with record debt levels and a change in government, discover why British growth is currently the weakest in Europe. This comprehensive analysis explores the political choices of Keir Starmer and looks into the future prospects of a waning power struggling to regain its former glory. Over the past decade, the UK has faced a series of setbacks that have hindered its economic progress. Brexit, once heralded as a step towards regaining sovereignty, has caused disruptions in trade relationships and increased barriers to commerce, notably with European neighbors. Such disruptions have resulted in increased costs for consumers and businesses alike, contributing to the cost of living crisis. The government's handling of these issues has been met with mixed reviews, and the change in leadership, while offering a semblance of hope, still faces the monumental task of rebuilding trust and navigating through a complex global landscape. Keir Starmer, the current leader in the realm of British politics, has proposed a series of reforms aimed at stabilizing the economy and re-establishing the country's standing on the global stage. His approach includes forging new trade deals, focusing on innovation and technology, and investing heavily in infrastructure and green energy. However, the path to recovery is fraught with obstacles, including a divided public opinion and the burden of substantial national debt. In juxtaposition to this struggle, European nations with strong leadership and cohesive strategies have seemingly managed to weather the storm more effectively, leaving the UK's growth statistics trailing behind. The prospect of emerging from this tunnel is still viable, yet it requires unprecedented cohesion and a clear-cut vision from Britain's policymakers. So, as the UK stands at a critical juncture, the analysis raises the pertinent question of whether it can leverage its intrinsic strengths and strategic ingenuity to reclaim its position as a formidable force in the global arena. The United Kingdom, a nation once revered for its global dominance, is now grappling with a series of formidable challenges. This narrative examines the country's current state a year after our last analysis, delving into the factors that have contributed to its decline and the prospects for its future. From the tumultuous consequences of Brexit to the pressing crisis of purchasing power, the UK has faced a rocky road in recent years. Debt levels have skyrocketed, leading to a precarious economic situation that is compounded by frequent changes in government. Keir Starmer's political decisions are under the microscope as the country attempts to navigate through this maze of difficulties. The analysis sheds light on his approach, exploring how his policies are shaping the UK's trajectory in a post-Brexit world. One of the most significant impacts has been on the British economy, now labeled as having the lowest growth in Europe. This stagnation raises concerns about the nation's ability to compete on a global scale and leaves its citizens questioning the prospects of regaining their former glory. High inflation rates, coupled with stagnant wages, have led to a crisis in purchasing power that affects millions of households. Brexit, once heralded as a chance for renewed independence, has become a source of endless complexity and division. Businesses face new trade barriers and regulatory challenges, adding another layer of difficulty to an already strained economy. As trade negotiations continue, the uncertainty further dampens prospects for quick recovery. Amidst this, the frequent changes in government have left the public weary and skeptical about the effectiveness of political leadership. It is a time of soul-searching for both leaders and citizens alike, as they ponder what path will lead back to stability and growth. The narrative paints a picture of a once mighty nation now at a crossroads, searching for a way to align its rich heritage with a vision for the future that promises prosperity and renewal. The journey is fraught with challenges, but also filled with opportunities for innovation and reform if the right choices are made.